Hey, what is up guys, MKBHD here, and this is finally the Pixel 4. The most leaked phone in history probably is finally revealed, and I feel personally attacked. So the title of this video is Google and Gaps. So the Pixel 4, we already kind of knew almost everything about it, but now that it's actually out, it's been on stage and the details have all sort of been filled in, it's kind of what we expected. It's a very Google phone, Android 10 and the Google Assistant, and some new features and all that. But also, there's some head-scratching gaps, some things missing with this phone. Let's get into it. So the design, similar to other Pixels, is definitely the tamest part of this new phone. It's not a flashy design at all, to the point where it's kind of funny. It's got this big forehead, it's bigger than the chin, it doesn't have the thinnest bezels, it has a flat display, which I actually like, and there's 3 colors, black, white, and orange. I like that they're still doing the colored power buttons, so the Panda one has, I'm calling it Panda. The Panda one has an orange power button, and the orange one here has this sort of pink power button. That's okay, I wish it was white. And they all have a matte black metal rail around the whole phone, around the top, the sides, the speakers at the bottom, and the USB Type-C port. Matte black all the way around everything. And it's a nice weight of the whole phone, and I really like the soft touch matte finish on the backs. Seems like 2019 has really become the year of matte black finishes, except for the fact that the black phone is the only one that's not matte finish. So this orange one is matte on the back, the white one matte on the back, and the all black phone, which could have been matte black everything, is glossy for some reason. So I don't know, I feel slighted. But you can see what I mean. It's a pretty simple design, flat display instead of curved over the edges, a solid pair of speakers with the second one being up in the earpiece at the top. And on the back, you of course have your camera square bump, the infamous design trend of 2019, but it isn't triple cameras up here. It's dual cameras, a flash, and laser autofocus. So it's one standard camera and one telephoto, a 2x telephoto. So they didn't include an ultra-wide camera on the Pixel 4. And I don't know, I was kind of waiting. This was something we've been waiting for a long time, to see finally multiple cameras in a Pixel. They've always done the best they could with software with one camera. But the one thing you can't fake with software is an ultra-wide. So now that every other phone in this class has an ultra-wide, I was pumped to see it. I was excited to see what they could do with an ultra-wide camera on the Pixel, and then they didn't do it. That's a bummer. I feel like it's actually a bigger deal that they didn't include it than if they had just put it in. Anyway, so you have a standard camera and the 2x telephoto, and this will be better for some things like portrait mode, which now only works with the telephoto. You can't take wide portrait photos anymore. And the rest of everything else with the normal camera should still be fine. I mean, this is one of those things I got to test, of course, for the full review to see if it's actually better than the legendary Pixel 3, or if there are instances where maybe just night mode is better, or if astrophotography or those things they showed on stage with the stars and the moon at night look better. But so far from what I've seen, it looks to be another great smartphone camera. You can follow me on Twitter if you want to see the sample photos I post, and of course that'll make its way into the full review, but yeah, so far so good.
So while wide angle can be fun, we think telephoto is more important.
Yeah, I definitely feel personally attacked. All right, so why does the Pixel 4 have such a big forehead? It's bigger than the chin, it's like notable. I guess it's better than the bathtub notch, but what's the big deal here? Pixel 4 now has an entire suite of front-facing sensors up at the top, including infrared and radar, which is new in smartphones, to do what they call the fastest facial recognition unlocking in any smartphone. And they're so confident in it, in fact, that they've gotten rid of any other biometric authentication, which means no fingerprint reader anywhere else on this phone. Not under the glass, not on the back, just face unlock. So this all falls under motion sense. Parts of it seem pretty cool. Other parts of it, a little rough. So when motion sense is on, it uses the radar to sense when you're coming near the phone to pick it up. And then it preps the cameras and the sensors to read your face and unlock it immediately as you're picking the phone up. So I tried it out at the event. I put my face data in with the new UI for that and gave it a shot. And it worked pretty well. I picked up the phone from a flat surface and it was on and unlocked by the time I even got it up to my face, and I didn't even have to press the power button. So that is pretty cool. I don't really think anything about the actual reading of your face is anything crazy proprietary. It's still infrared, it still works at a decent amount of angles, but it's using that radar to sense when you're coming and picking up the phone and turning it on early. That's the cool part. And then they use radar also to do a couple of other gesture-based things, and these are much more hit or miss. I actually like the one where you have a timer or an alarm clock going off, and when it starts beeping, as you reach for the phone, the radar sees your hand coming and quiets down the alarm. And that's pretty cool. Then you can swipe it away and it silences it. Now, I got the alarm quieting down as I reach for the phone to work every single time flawlessly, but the whole swipe away thing, that didn't always work for me every time. And this was a theme in general with the whole swiping thing. It's hard to get it right, which, you know, could be rough in the morning if you're trying not to hit things on your desk as you swipe your nightstand over and over. But it's also supposed to work for accepting or denying a call and moving forward or backward in media. And this was way harder to get it to work than it should be. When you're in a place where swiping over the phone is supported, you see this glowing happening at the top in the notification bar. And you can see it move to the left or right when it works and it recognizes your hand movement. But I honestly think I got it to work like 10% of the times that I actually tried to swipe it. There was no real feedback about what I was doing wrong or how I could do it better. So this seems like something I'm probably never going to use. You might remember LG did this too on their last flagship with infrared, but I gotta give them credit because they actually had a little visual on the screen of at least how to do the weird hand gesture better, like get closer or get further up top. There's no such indicator on the Pixel, so it's frustratingly difficult. Anyway, my favorite feature about the Pixel 4, without a doubt, easy, is the 90 Hz display. Love that. My first impression is it looks great, it's nice and smooth, as you'd expect from a high refresh rate display, and it's a high resolution too. It's 3200 by 1800, so my first impressions of this OLED are it's pretty color accurate, sharp, but not very bright. I definitely struggled outdoors to get bright enough, but that's going to be its weakness. We'll learn more about this as I use the phone more for the review. And then the rest of the specs, Snapdragon 855, not 855 Plus. Then you're looking at 6 gigs of RAM, starting at 128 gigs of storage, and 2800 or 3700 milliamp hour battery. I think that smaller battery might be something to keep an eye on for the Pixel 4, especially with that 90 Hz screen. But the bigger one, which I'm testing, the XL, 3700 milliamp hours, seems fine. We'll find out as I test the phone, but yeah, that's something to keep an eye on. And then it's Android 10. So mostly what we've seen in Android 10 is the same as previous betas on other phones. There's the new Face Unlock UI, like I mentioned, along with some camera app improvements, an improvement to Google Assistant that speeds it up even more and lets you use it hands-free more often. And there's also now a pretty sweet built-in voice memo app that's actually impressive. It now transcribes everything you say in real time on the device and records it all in text as well. So you can see it marking down all your words as you speak, and then you can go back into search and use the text to search for each word you say, and it'll show where in the voice memo you said that word. So that's pretty impressive. If I was a big voice memos guy, I'd be super into that. So look, a lot of this stuff, it's better. It's not drastically impressive, like nothing really wowed me. And maybe that's because everything leaked, like we saw everything that was going to be coming, so it's impossible to get surprised by the event. But yeah, it felt like there were some serious gaps too. Like, okay, the no matte black version of the phone, okay, I get it. You want to mix it up, have a little glossy, fingerprinty back with the matte black, okay. And then the specs are better and you have extra RAM, but no Snapdragon 855 Plus. It's kind of sort of this weird time of year where phones are starting to come out now with the Snapdragon 855 Plus, and this phone for more money doesn't have it, so it's kind of tough. And then the lack of the ultra-wide was really, that's tough. Like I was so looking forward to having, like what could they do with an ultra-wide pixel camera? How good could it be? And now we don't have that. And it seems like Google might not even really care super much about that either. There's no 2x button in the camera app. It's just kind of there. I thought it would be mandatory if you adopt this whole square thing, like you have to have triple cameras. We'll see. I don't know. For $799, I think the Pixel 4, that smaller one, that's going to be a tough sell because that's $100 more than the iPhone 11. And well, that's just a regular Pixel 4. But for the XL, that starts at $899. I think that'll be more compelling, interesting buy, and that's the one I'm testing, so that's the one to stay tuned for the full review of. But let me know what else you want to see in the comment section below if you have any concerns. Battery life, maybe the cameras, maybe there's video quality, things you definitely want to see in the review. Let me know. But no matter what you do, make sure you subscribe to be the first to see that when it comes out. Techtober rolls on, lots of stuff happening. This has been your first impressions of the Pixel 4. Thanks for watching. Catch you guys in the next one. Peace.